Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation. I speak now about some aspect of development, citizenship, and academy. We live in a time of global change and challenges that require deep reflection and coordinate action at the national and international levels. The problems we face, from climate change to the COVID-19 pandemic, are complex and interconnected, and their solution requires a holistic approach that takes into account their multiple dimensions. Technology and digitalization are an integral part of this process and must be used responsibly and sustainably to promote human well-being and protect the environment. Ultimately, the future of our society depends on our ability to work together and build a common future based on solidarity, justice, and equity. Global collective action is essential to address the global change we face, including those related to the environment and sustainable development. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals provide a valuable tool for planning and management at the local level, and it is important that governments, universities, and other civil society organizations work together to implement them. In particular, universities and scientific organizations have an important role to play in sustainable development, as they can contribute to the knowledge and research needed to understand and address the environmental and social change we face. In addition, they can work collaboratively with the governments and other stakeholders to develop sustainable solutions and policies and to foster education and public awareness on these issues. The implementation of these SDGs and the promotion of the sustainable development and global change that requires the collaboration of multiple actors, including governments, universities, scientific organizations, and civil society in general. It is important that we all work together to comprehensively address this change and ensure that future generations can enjoy a sustainable and equitable world. The Sustainable Development Goals are an important tool to address the global issues facing our world. Within the academia and scientific organizations have a key roles in disseminating knowledge and generating sustainable solutions to these problems. It is important to highlight that the implementation of the SDG is not only the responsibility of governments, but also requires active participation and commitment of civil society, companies, and organizations in general. It is necessary to work together and collaborate to achieve a more just, sustainable, and equitable world for all. In addition, scientific technology development can also be a key tool to address these global challenges. But it's important to ensure that technology is used responsibly and sustainably, and not as a tool to increase inequality and social exclusion. Inclusive education implies recognizing that all people are different, they but that all have the right to education and to be valued in their diversity. This perspective promotes the removal of barriers that prevent participation and learning and seeks to offer an education that respects individual and cultural difference. In addition, inclusive education also implies focus on lifelong learning, which means that education does not end with compulsory education, but extend through life and is adapted to the needs and changing circumstances of people. Inclusive education not only benefits people with disabilities or in vulnerable situations, but also promotes quality education for all, since by promoting diversity and inclusion, the educational process is enriched and respect for others is fostered. To achieve inclusive education, it is necessary for educational system to adopt inclusive policies and practice to promote teacher trainings and awareness and to encourage the active participation of the educational community in the design and implementation of the educational policy. Universities have a key roles in local development and in the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goal. On the road to 2050, universities have a critical role to play in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. For this, it is necessary that universities recognize the challenges posed by the 2030 Agenda and the SDGs and commit to making significant contribution to their achievement. One of the ways in which universities can contribute to the achievement of the SDG is through the inclusion of the 2030 Agenda and the SDG in curricular context. The design of seminars and workshops, final projects for the integration of degree course, and as a topic for this and dissertation. This will make it possible to become aware to the urgent challenges posed by sustainable development and prepare students to be agents of change in society. And the question, I think, this is, what are the main challenges facing Latin America and the Caribbean in terms of inequality, access to education, health, employment, social protection, and institutionalization of social policies? According to the report of the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ACLAC, the region faces several challenges in terms of inequality, access to education, health, employment, social protection, and institutionalization of social policy. Regarding inequality, the report highlights the naturalization of social hilarity into the deep asymmetry in access to progressive political deliberation and progressive action. In terms of education and health, although the region has made significant progress in recent decades, gaps persist and the education and health system still have challenges to address with certain populations such as Afro-descendant and indigenous people. In terms of employment, the region labor market still fails to generate productive jobs and the same work, particularly for young people. ACLAC identified five emerging obstacles to social development in Latin America and the Caribbean: violence, natural disaster and climate change, the demographic transition, migration and technological change. These obstacles represent important challenges for the region and require specific strategies to be addressed. International development cooperation and integration can be a valuable tool to face these challenges. This cooperation implies action designing and executed by public and private actors from different countries with the purpose of promoting a fair and more balanced progress in the world and building a safer and more peaceful planet. In this context, the university can play an important role as promoter of sustainable development and wants to the objectives that promote it. Integration of the university with the local governments and the development of collective action that integrate public and private actors can be beneficial to promote progress transformation in these societies, in these Latin American societies. Cooperation and integration can be carried out through a wide network of national and international organizations, some are public in nature and others of a private nature. This institutional network integrated what is known as the International Development Cooperation System, which is identified as a support way of understanding human relations. It is a question of establishment plural, transforming collaborativities with contribution from all who aspire to the common good and social change. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much.